Across the board, we have fucked up thoughts from our childhood. We grew up with the guidance from our parents or guardians, and they were raised in a different time than us. They likely didn't question their parents' method, so they used that method on us, and we got treated a similar way to how they got treated. And even if we had the most well-intentioned parents, our little baby brains still developed thoughts and beliefs about how this complicated world works. We created narratives about our values and beliefs, and we probably haven't addressed them yet. What's up, friend? My name is Shelby and I own Grind and Align Wellness. I work with my clients one-on-one to walk towards their happiest and healthiest version. And I want to talk to you about childhood trauma. Fun, I know. Did you know that disease is actually associated with personality traits? Dr. Gabor Mate studies how trauma affects our body, and he often talks about how people-pleasing and suppressing needs and emotion is associated with specific disease patterns. So it goes without saying, our personality really does matter the most. So much so that we claim certain personality traits, we claim them as our own. But what if they were never actually ours? What if we actually picked these up in childhood and we carried them through adulthood? Our personality is our personal reality, and it turns out that that can actually shift. If we had an unstable mother or father, we may be the peacekeeper. We may feel like we have to stay grounded at all times to make sure everything is okay. If we had emotionally unavailable guardians, maybe we don't even feel worthy of love. Maybe our parents held us to a really high standard, and no matter how good we did, we'd never be good enough. Whatever your version, you have a version, because we all have a version. We were all little baby brains attempting to cope in an ever-changing, complicated world. So what do we do? What can we do? I'm so glad you asked. We slow the fuck down. We recognize that there's no place to get to except for right here. This is the only thing that matters right now. We recognize the patterns in our body by observing our nutrition and our movement. We see the narrative in the moment and recognize we have power over it. With my program, we always start with the physical because it's a constant that will be forever. You will always have you, which makes it really easy to recognize the wave. We have habits and patterns around everything we do, and everything is connected. So once we see the lies that our mind tells us about our abilities or our needs, we can see that in other areas of life too. I have the most loving partner I could ask for. He shows me over and over and over that he cares about me and that I'm his person. But I still have thoughts of insecurities creep into our relationship. Because I've noticed so many patterns in me through movement and nutrition, I see my thoughts in the moment, and I see when the insecurities creep in. I recognize that they're mine to address, and it's not his behaviors. Because I've leaned into pattern recognition, I recognize that I have control over my behaviors and my thought patterns. And I got all of this through recognizing my physical body and how I carry tension, where I hold trauma within this physical form. The patterns that we picked up on when we were young are not our fault, but they are our responsibility now. Now we get to be the adult that we always needed. Now you get to meet little baby you with gentleness and compassion. You get to reassure that childlike survival version of you that we have new methods now and we're safe. When I work with my clients, we spend the entire first month just observing nutrition patterns. We also have a head-to-toe check-in that we do repeatedly to see where we're carrying tension in the body, to recognize the patterns of how we hold our physical body. As we recognize the patterns, we gradually make shifts to customize the plan to them, so that way they can optimize their existence and continue to walk towards their happiest and healthiest version. A good way for you to start leaning into pattern recognition is start a food journal or track your hormone cycle if you're a female in particular. You can create a regular workout program or have some kind of practice that you do daily so you can check in with you. We can't blame our parents because they did the best that they could with the level of awareness and knowledge that they had. And we don't have to blame ourselves. We don't have to have the David Goggins mentality to bully ourselves to submission or success. We can be gentle and recognize there's always room to grow. I hope you find your path to growth. And I fucking love you.